Hi, everybody. We are back. We're back with Coffee, Homes, and Loans, and I'm so excited that today we have Jess Sparks. How are you, Jess?
I'm great. Glad to be back with you.
Yes, I'm so excited. It's June 2024. So many things have happened, and I just wanted to kind of get caught up, do a little reintroduction of what you do for our clients, and also talk about this market. I mean, we have the North settlement, we have higher interest rate. Is it all that gloomy? We'll find out. Hey, Jess. So tell me, I know you are very hands on with your clients, and that's what I admire of you. Like, you have an amazing follow through, and you know what your clients want, who they are, and you let them express themselves. So I wanted to kind of see how, if you can walk us through what is a new buyer or a buyer consultation when they come to see you.
Absolutely. And thank you, by the way. That's a huge compliment. I really appreciate that. Yeah, so at a new buyer or a home buyer consultation, that is really a major opportunity for us to gather with those buyers and just really kind of get a sense of what they're truly looking for in terms of their goal for their next home. It's a big opportunity for the client as well to use that time to ask any questions that have been burning right in their mind as well.
Okay, that's really nice. And then, so when a buyer kind of knows the area that they want to be in, do you usually focus on that area, or do you like to go a little bit outside based on the conversations that you guys have had?
Absolutely. Depending on what their criteria is, it's always suggested to kind of expand that search area. And in fact, one of the really neat things that we do during that consultation,
Hmm.
once we have the gist of what they're looking at in terms of the home's profile, but also what kind of financing and different things they'd be pursuing, one of the things we do is called Shrink the World. So we'll actually sit in that consultation and I'll show the clients from my vantage point what it looks like with their criteria and what areas are popping up that have the homes that fit what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's amazing. And a lot of agents sometimes may have the tendency to just send a list of houses to their clients and just let them choose, put in an offer, and they're kind of like done. But it's not like that with you, right?
It's not. I'm extremely hands-on, and it's more concise.
Mhm.
So again, we want to make sure that we're utilizing not just the client's time well, but our time as the agent, so we can structure things also and make sure that we're taking the best approach for the client. So with that being said, once we find out that criteria, that search is very concise, but as an agent, I do additional research as well. So I'll look at the comparable properties in the area, what are the market trends in the area. So that way, when we're moving forward with making an offer, we can make an offer that makes the most sense for the client.
Yeah, and then you can negotiate on their behalf whether they need seller credits, a longer
Absolutely.
close of escrow. Sometimes they're selling a house and then just buying a new one. So that's also important to know ahead of time so you put your clients on the right path.
Absolutely. That's always the goal. So
Yeah. So now that you have described what an agent, a good agent does when they are working with buyers or sellers, what are your thoughts in the NAR settlement? A lot of people are thinking, oh, well, I like to shop online, so I can just go shop, get a house, and be done. But I still see a huge value on working with a real estate agent.
absolutely. One of the things I think that we do as an agent is we don't show our clients necessarily every single logistic that is happening within a transaction, but there are so many points, like you previously mentioned, different aspects of that transaction that has to be negotiated. Paperwork and documents have to be done properly because again the transaction is also a legal process that is taking place
Yep.
in order to purchase a home. So there are many different points where the buyer is really going to need someone who has that expertise to negotiate in their behalf, but also get them to the finish line. Every transaction is different, and there's many things that can take place, kind of like small little obstacles to overcome. But as the agent, that's what we do. We guide our buyers and our clients through that process so they can reach that finish line. And it's honestly, it's a 24/7 job. We're
It
working on that
really is.
daily.
Yeah, I was watching this video on Instagram that it said I left my 9 to 5 job to have more flexibility and become a realtor. And now I
That's
work
me.
24/7.
That's me. Yeah. There, like I said, there are things that pop up at different points of the day, and sometimes there are surprises. And that's where, we want to keep our client focused on the goal. When you're a buyer or a seller, you're moving, you've got your own family life and things to deal with. That's where your agent comes in as your trusted resource to assist you with the process of that home sale or that home purchase. And we
Yeah.
want to make that as easy as possible.
Yeah, and walk us a little bit through kind of going back. So today, the NAR settlement is not necessarily in place yet. It's not
Correct.
effective. So today, if you're buying a house, who's normally paying the commissions, and what do they usually range at here in Greater Las Vegas?
Absolutely. So they definitely vary when it comes to commissions to understand the structure of how it's typically been in the past. I think there's a lot of misunderstanding around commissions. They've always been negotiable, but how it's been structured is typically the seller would pay from the home sale the commissions for the listing agent, which is their representative that sell the home. And they would also pay the buyer's agent, so the buyer's representative commission. And a lot of times it would kind of get split down the middle. With this settlement, this does change things a little bit. The intention is more transparency with the home sale process, but the buyer's going to have possibly options. Where we're moving, it doesn't mean that sellers can't still pay that commission to both sides. And I truly believe if sellers want to move their property, they still will.
I think so too. And they can see the value. I think once you have invested in real estate and you've seen the equity that has earned you, then you can see the value of a real estate agent, the value of getting pre-approved ahead of time before you go look at houses that perhaps you can qualify for. And in the same way, know how the agents need to be compensated and what you're comfortable with, because sometimes you have a net amount of the proceeds of your home that you need to have in order to qualify for the next one. So you can have an open conversation with your agent, say, hey, I need this much. This is what I can pay on commission. And that seems simple.
It's, I think it's as simple as we make it, right? To your point, going this direction, I believe for agents as well, it'll be a great practice of business where we'll start utilizing with every client those buyer brokerages agreements, which spells more of that out. But it also creates, I think, a sense of trust and a pact for the agent and the client as well, because here we're wrapped in, we know we're going to work together to succeed in that home purchase. But it also, too, you brought out a good point of like really analyzing the buyer's budget and what would really work for them. That's also, too, where our partnership with you as a lender will be a huge aspect, because we'll be able to, together as a team, go through and see, what we're looking at as far as responsibility from the buyer as well. So there may be some cases where some buyers may have to pay, part of that commission. But again, it's all negotiable. So this is where, having those consultations and really truly diving in and discussing before moving forward with the next steps will be beneficial to the buyers.
Yeah. And there are different resources for buyers that they can use, different types of down payment assistance programs. If seller contributions can be negotiated, I'll put a little chart here of how much you can get on an FHA loan, conventional VA, on a conventional investment property. When somebody puts 25% down payment, you can get up to 9% of seller contribution. And that more than covers both commissions for both agents, plus all closing costs, and perhaps a little bit of a buy down fee on the rate.
Yes, that's huge.
Yeah, so then you can negotiate it where all the parties are happy, which is the ideal.
And that's the goal, right? I love that. That's the goal.
Yeah, exactly. So now, when do these changes take in effect? Is it August?
So as far as I know, we're still looking at August. At this time, it's still kind of fluid. And I'm sure as we get closer, more details will become, more prevalent and available. So we'll
Yeah.
kind of have something more finite.
Mhm.
But for me, myself, I've already put it into practice with our buyers, again, utilizing that buyer brokerage agreement. So my buyers know that I'm invested in them,
Mhm.
but they also know that I'll be there as a resource for them through
Yeah,
that
that's good.
process.
Jaime and I went to see this property in North Utah when we were by the farmhouse, and that's the first time that I got. We went to see like a vacation home, and then this agent came with her buyer broker agreement, and she presented it to me, and I thought that was such a cool way because she said, if you buy anything before August, then it will be included in the MLS. But if you buy after, then and you want to buy with us, then here's my transaction fee.
Mhm.
I do charge this much, and we'll see if we can negotiate it as part of your contract. But if not, then you will be responsible for paying it. So if you're ready to move forward, you can sign here. And I'm like, that's great. That was
Yes.
like a good presentation. And she also had taken the time to tell me a little bit more about the area, the ordinances of buying a property that is in farmland, whether or not you can Airbnb in that city in Utah. It's just so many different things that I already knew she was invested in case we wanted to use her.
She sounds like a great agent.
Yeah, I really like her presentation. Yeah, I thought that was really good. And I thought that if we can educate our clients that way, and also on my side, when I get them approved, I can be like, you know what, we have to pay this credit card. You have to work this amount of time, and you need to save this much in case you need to pay commission. If you don't have to pay commission, then you can keep it in savings. But if you do, then you already know what the budget looks
I
like.
love that. And I think that wraps in really well with, again, like how that consultation looks for us with the clients. As you and I have had that with several clients, just having that dialogue really helps them to understand. But again, as an agent too, it's so important that we're hands-on and we're diving in and we're doing the research.
Yeah.
And so now with the changes that are coming to the industry, I just think that we'd be doing a little bit more of that, even as we show like different properties to clients so they understand what their responsibility is going to be in
Exactly.
that.
Yeah, I think that's really good. And what a lot of buyers don't know, or even sellers, is all the extensive education that we go through and the training every year. I'm licensed in 2 states, so there's always continuing education. There is a lot of compliance training that we do at Loan Depot. I was doing what about appraisals yesterday. I have to do another one about security the next day. But you take a lot of continuing education.
So I just finished. I actually did a little bit over the allotted amount I needed to, but I just finished about 50 hours.
Oh, wow.
Of continuing education, and it was varied too. It was real estate law, appraisals as well.
Yeah, appraisals is a new topic right now.
Yeah, it's something that real estate is constantly evolving, right? The industry is evolving as we can see, and real estate happens in cycles. So, as you said, it's important for lender, for real estate agent, that we stay on top of what's happening with the market and where the industry is going. And that education, just better equips us to.
Yeah. So tell the camera how invested you are to our buyers.
1000%. I think at the end of the day, like a lot of people ask me, what's the most fulfilling part of real estate? And for me, it's being able to see, especially first-time home buyers, like people who never thought that they would reach that goal, to actually reach it and have that success and be able to purchase that home. So for me, it means being hands-on from the moment they start speaking to me to the moment that we close on the property. That part means so much to me, that as long as I'm hands-on and watching the process, I'm looking at every avenue just to make sure that they're protected and able to succeed in that aspect. That's why I do what I do.
That's
means a lot to
beautiful.
me.
Yeah, that's so good. And then kind of switching a little bit of gears. So reselling new construction. What do you have a favorite?
I'm 50-50. As of late, though, I really enjoyed new construction just because there are a lot of incentives right now and in the past year with new construction. And the surprising piece to that, a lot of people have thought in the past, if I go with new construction, it's going to take 8 to 12 months for my home to be completed. But that's actually not the case as of late. We have a lot of what's called spec homes where
Yes.
the builder has already pre-selected the design and different aspects of the home. So many buyers can now go in and kind of choose from these pre-selected homes that are quick move-ins. They're able to close in 30 to 45 days.
Yeah, I had an experience of one of them with a big builder over here, and I got the opportunity to do the loan, and the buyer was getting a huge amount on incentives. We were able to buy down her rate, do a 3-to-1 buy down, so it was amazing because she started at 2.99 on her first year. It's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, and then all of her closing costs be paid and everything. And but yes, she didn't have as much room to customize the house. Maybe just pick a paint color and a type of floor. But she really did love the home. So and she only had enough for her down payment, so it was perfect.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible. Yeah, those incentives can be a huge asset to buyers. But also resale, I think, has its perks as well. I enjoy showing resale properties to clients as well. With resale, they kind of have their own character, right?
Yes.
The property has been able to mature along with the landscaping and things like that combined just gives that home that unique look.
Yeah.
So with buyers, I kind of like to show them both when they're in the process of searching for a home to see what fits, because what works for one person might not necessarily be the best option for the other person as well. And there's some little nuances too between resale and new construction.
Yeah.
Sometimes the cost on new construction can be a little bit higher because the buyer,
The taxes too.
exactly, the taxes, the assessments fees, the SIDS and LIDs, all those extra fees for that community to continue being developed.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
You just sent me a beautiful house, which is by my house, and it's so perfect. And it's a resale, and I like it. It has a big lot space, it has a pool, and it has its own character. And I think,
when you're talking,
yeah. And then I'm like, it's in a gated community.
Uh-oh.
Jaime has a fear of being trapped.
Yeah, I want to know more about that. That's legitimate. I get it.
Yeah. So, but I usually lean more towards resale because I see the potential of having more land, and the way that as much time as my family spends at home, we like to have more room, I guess, separated from the other houses. That's and things like that.
Point. And it's good that you said you see the potential. I think for buyers who have that viewpoint, they're able to envision what can be done with a property as well. A resale property could be a good canvas to start with and really kind of build and also make it your own.
Yeah. And first-time buyers can actually go in with a remodel loan with 3 or 3.5% down payment and just make the house their own. And that's what Jaime did on our first home. And that was really fun. Just bringing down a few walls, changing the floors, the paint, buying the best stove in the world. I miss that stove.
I love that.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want your clients, your friends, your realtors, your followers to know about you?
Oh, wow, my followers. Make sure you hit like and follow. Okay? No, I think it's just important for us to keep having these conversations. Please stay tuned in. I think one of the things that you do exceptionally well, and I'm kind of feeding off of that as well, is just keeping our clients educated and informed. We want to make sure that they're well equipped, they know they're supported, and they just have the best options in front of them. So I think keeping them educated, having a little fun, and showing clients that real estate is really approachable for anyone. What you think you may not have been able to do, you'll likely be surprised and find out that even if you can't do it now, 6 months, 1 year down the road, we're able to discuss with you and plan. And we've helped some clients achieve their goal exactly that way. So just know that it's always a possibility. Let's keep having those conversations, and you refer your friends and family too if you know someone who needs help with real estate.
Yeah, definitely. We'll put all of our contact information. I looked at the wrong camera. We'll put our contact information. I also have a video series of the different loan programs that we have available, so you can check out that in the playlist. But we are here to be transparent and as a resource to you. So if you have any questions, even if you're already working with an agent or a lender, we are happy to answer them because it's all about collaboration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Before this, we were talking about different real estate offices, different lenders, and we're like, oh, I know that person, I know this person. And we just want to see everybody be successful.
Absolutely. And collaboration is a huge part of that. I firmly believe teamwork makes the dream work. So even in a transaction with another agent from a different brokerage, again, that teamwork is what's going to get everybody to success and help them meet in the middle and everyone's happy.
Yeah, exactly. Well, see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget, like Jess said, to follow on social media and subscribe to our channel. See you next time.
Bye, guys. Thank you.